My journey began in Riyadh. The city felt like a place waking from a long slumber. Glass towers reached for the sky, reflecting the bright desert sun. Below, wide highways were filled with modern cars, a constant stream of movement and energy. It was a vision of the future, a statement of ambition, written in steel and concrete. Yet, just around the corner, I found something else entirely. I stumbled upon old souks, traditional markets hidden in the city's heart. The air was thick with the scent of spices and oud, a fragrant wood smoke that seemed to hang in the air for centuries. Here, time moved differently, at a slower, more deliberate pace. I was invited to share coffee. This was not just a quick drink, it was a ritual, a ceremony of welcome. A man in a crisp white thobe poured the light, fragrant gawa from a brass pot, a dala with a long, elegant spout. He poured just a small amount into a tiny cup. It was a gesture of hospitality that needed no words. He smiled, a warm and genuine welcome that immediately made me feel at ease. This simple act told me more about the country than any headline I had ever read. It spoke of tradition, respect, and a deep-seated culture of generosity that has been passed down through generations. Stepping away from the city's pulse, I found the desert. It was vast, silent, and overwhelmingly beautiful. The sand dunes stretched to the horizon, their colors shifting from pale gold to deep orange as the sun moved across the sky. It was a landscape that felt both empty and full of life. You could feel the history here, the countless journeys of nomads and traders who crossed these sands over millennia. It's a place that commands respect, a powerful reminder of nature's scale and endurance. I stood there, a tiny figure in an immense ocean of sand, feeling a profound sense of peace and awe. Back in the city, I explored Diriyah, the ancestral home of the Saudi royal family. Its mud brick walls stood strong, telling stories of a bygone era. The architecture was simple yet beautiful, designed to work with the harsh climate. Narrow alleyways offered shade from the sun, and intricately carved wooden doors hinted at the lives lived within. Walking through these ancient streets, I could almost hear the echoes of the past. It was a stark contrast to the modern metropolis just a short drive away. This kingdom, I was quickly learning, was not one simple story. It was a place of many layers, where the ancient and the ultra-modern lived side by side. My journey then took me northwest to a place that felt like stepping into a history book, Al-Ula. For centuries, this valley was a vital crossroads on the ancient incense trade route. Caravans laden with frankincense and myrrh would stop here to rest and trade, leaving their mark on the landscape. The air itself feels ancient, filled with the whispers of forgotten kingdoms. The main settlement, Al-Ula Old Town, is a maze of nearly 900 mud brick houses, packed tightly together. Walking through its silent, dusty streets, I felt like an explorer discovering a lost city. It was a powerful, humbling experience. The first major civilization I learned about here were the Bedouins. They ruled this region thousands of years ago, long before the famous Nabateans. I was taken to see their capital, a sprawling archaeological site where the foundations of their city are still visible. My guide pointed out the lion tombs, carved high into the face of a red rock cliff. These imposing sculptures of lions guarded the final resting places of the elite. It was a sign of their power and their sophisticated culture. To see such artistry from so long ago was incredible. It challenged my entire perception of Arabia's history, revealing a depth I never knew existed. The Bedouinites were followed by the Lichianites, another powerful kingdom that left its mark on the valley. Their inscriptions and art are scattered throughout the region, etched into the rocks for eternity. I visited Jabal Ikma, an open-air library of ancient scripts. The rock faces were covered in thousands of carvings, depicting everything from daily life and religious rituals to legal contracts. It was a direct connection to the people who lived here more than 2 millennia ago. I ran my fingers over the grooves in the stone, trying to imagine the person who carved them, their hopes, their beliefs, and their stories. What struck me most about Al-Ula was the sheer scale of its history. This was not just one site, but a whole landscape of civilizations, built one on top of the other. It was a place where stories were not just written in books, but were carved into the very mountains. The sand-swept ruins and silent tombs spoke of powerful kings, wealthy merchants, and skilled artisans. This valley was a center of the ancient world, a vibrant hub of culture and commerce. It was a powerful reminder that the story of Saudi Arabia didn't begin with oil. It began thousands of years ago, right here in these magnificent, history-drenched sands. Many people know of the Nabateans because of Petra, their spectacular capital in Jordan. But their kingdom stretched far south, and their second city, Hegra, is located right here in Al-Ula. Hegra, also known as Mada'in Saleh, was Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is a breathtaking necropolis, a city of the dead with more than 100 monumental tombs carved directly into the sandstone outcrops that rise from the desert floor. Unlike Petra, which is hidden in a narrow canyon, Hegra's tombs are spread out across a wide, open plain, each one a masterpiece of ancient engineering and art. I spent a day exploring these incredible structures. Each tomb is unique, with ornate facades that blend Egyptian, Greek and Roman influences, with a distinct Nabatean style. Carved eagles, sphinxes, and griffins stood guard over the entrances. Above many of the doorways were inscriptions written in the Nabatean script, which told you who the tomb was for and warned others against disturbing them. It felt like walking through an open-air art gallery. The most famous tomb is Qasr al-Farid, the lonely castle, which stands alone in the desert, a single, monumental testament to Nabatean ambition. The Nabateans were master engineers, especially when it came to water. They built a sophisticated system of wells, cisterns, and channels to capture and store the scarce rainfall. This allowed them to create lush oases in the middle of the desert, turning Hegra into a thriving agricultural center and a vital stopping point for trade caravans. As I walked through the site, my guide pointed out the remains of these ancient water systems. It showed how ingeniously these people adapted to their harsh environment. Their wealth wasn't just from trade, it was from their mastery of the desert's most precious resource. Standing before these magnificent tombs, I felt a deep sense of wonder. The Nabateans were more than just traders. They were artists, architects, and engineers of the highest order. Hegra is their legacy, a powerful statement of their culture and their connection to this land. It is a place that rivals Petra in its beauty and historical importance. Yet it remains far less known to the outside world. For me, discovering Hegra was like finding a hidden chapter in a familiar story, one that added new depth and richness to the history of the ancient world. It showed me a side of Arabia that was sophisticated, creative, and deeply connected to the wider world. Leaving the desert behind, I flew south to a part of Saudi Arabia that completely shattered all my expectations. The Asir region is a world away from the golden sands of the north. Here, dramatic mountains rise to over 3,000 meters, their peaks often shrouded in mist. The landscape was surprisingly green, with terraced fields clinging to the steep hillsides. During the summer monsoon season, the region receives enough rain to sustain its agriculture, creating a cool, lush escape from the heat of the rest of the country. It felt more like I was in East Africa or Yemen than in the Arabia I had imagined. The people of Asir have their own unique culture and traditions, shaped by their mountainous home. I visited a village called Riyadh al-Ma, a stunning collection of stone fortresses built at the bottom of a valley. The buildings were several stories high, decorated with white quartz and intricate patterns. It looked like something out of a fairy tale. The men here traditionally wear colorful floral wreaths known as makhlaf on their heads. It's a beautiful custom, a celebration of the region's natural bounty. I met a man who made them, his hands weaving together fresh herbs and flowers with incredible skill. The markets in Asir were a feast for the senses. In the city of Abha, I wandered through a traditional souk that was buzzing with life. The air was filled with the smell of fresh produce, spices, and local honey, which the region is famous for. Men and women in traditional dress were bartering and socializing, a scene that felt timeless. I saw vendors selling daggers or jambiyas with ornate hilts, a traditional part of the local attire. Unlike the more reserved atmosphere I'd felt elsewhere, the markets here were loud, colorful, and incredibly vibrant, reflecting the unique character of the Asiri people. This journey into the southern mountains revealed another layer of Saudi Arabia's incredible diversity. It was a place where nature and culture were deeply intertwined. The architecture, the traditions, and even the clothing were all a response to this unique environment. The people here have a fierce pride in their heritage, which has been preserved for centuries in these isolated, beautiful mountains. My time in Asir was a powerful lesson. To understand this country, you have to look beyond the desert. You have to climb its mountains and meet the people who call this green corner of the kingdom home. Returning to Riyadh, I saw the city with new eyes. It wasn't just a collection of modern buildings. It was the engine room of a nation undergoing a profound transformation. The scale and speed of change are honestly staggering. I visited the King Abdullah Financial District, a forest of futuristic skyscrapers that looked like they had been teleported from the 22nd century. This is the face of Vision 2030, the country's ambitious plan to diversify its economy and open up to the world. The energy was palpable, a sense of optimism and ambition that you could feel on every street corner. This change is being driven by the country's youth. Over half of the Saudi population is under the age of 30, and their impact is everywhere. I went to a contemporary art gallery where young Saudi artists were displaying their work. The pieces were bold, thought-provoking, and incredibly creative, tackling themes of identity, tradition, and modernity. I spoke with a young female artist who told me how exciting it was to be part of this cultural moment. She felt a new sense of freedom to express herself and contribute to her country's evolving story. This was not the silent, closed-off society I had read about. At the same time, this rush towards the future has not erased the past. Timeless values remain at the core of Saudi life. The importance of family is paramount. On a Thursday evening, the start of the weekend, I saw parks and public spaces filled with families sharing picnics and spending time together. Grandparents, parents, and children all gathered, a weekly ritual of connection and community. Hospitality, too, is as important as ever. Even in the most modern of cafes, the tradition of welcoming a guest with warmth and generosity endures. These customs are the anchor that keeps the society grounded as it sails into new waters. It's a fascinating balancing act to witness. I saw young men in designer trainers and traditional thobes, and women driving themselves to work while still deeply respecting their cultural heritage. The country is navigating a complex path, trying to embrace progress without losing its soul. There are tensions and challenges, of course. But what I saw in Riyadh was a society full of dynamism and hope. It was a place where the young generation is not just watching the future happen, they are actively building it, blending their deep-rooted traditions with a bold and global outlook. From the heart of the city, my journey took me to the kingdom's western edge, to the shores of the Red Sea. For decades, this coastline was largely untouched, a hidden gem known only to a few. Now it is opening up, and what I found there was a world of breathtaking natural beauty. The water was a dazzling shade of turquoise, so clear that I could see the coral gardens from the boat. The coastline is fringed by pristine white sand beaches, backed by dormant volcanoes and ancient lava fields. It's a dramatic and beautiful meeting of desert and sea. I went diving near the Farasan Islands, an archipelago of over 80 islands that is a protected marine sanctuary. As soon as I submerged, I was surrounded by life. The coral reefs were vibrant and healthy, a kaleidoscope of colors. Schools of brightly colored fish swam past me in great clouds. I saw a graceful sea turtle gliding through the water and a curious Napoleon wrasse with its distinctive bump on its head. The sheer abundance of marine life was astonishing. It felt like diving in a giant, thriving aquarium, a testament to how well preserved this underwater ecosystem is. This coastline is also home to vast mangrove forests, which are crucial habitats for countless species. I took a small boat through the winding channels of a mangrove sanctuary near Al-Ula. It was incredibly peaceful. The tangled roots of the mangrove trees provided a nursery for young fish and a nesting ground for coastal birds. I saw ospreys circling overhead and herons wading in the shallow water. These vital ecosystems are a key part of the Red Sea's natural wealth, and there is a growing effort to protect and restore them as development along the coast increases. The Red Sea coast represents another facet of Saudi Arabia's future. Ambitious tourism projects are underway, aiming to create sustainable destinations that showcase this natural beauty to the world. The focus is on ecotourism, protecting the very environment that makes this place so special. My time here showed me that the country's treasures are not only buried in the sand, but also lie beneath the waves. It's a place of incredible natural wonder, a reminder of the planet's fragile beauty, and another surprising and stunningly beautiful side to this diverse and complex nation. No journey to Saudi Arabia would be complete without venturing into its most legendary landscape, the Rub al-Khali, or the Empty Quarter. This is the largest continuous sand desert in the world, a place so vast and so harsh that it has captured the imagination of explorers for centuries. The name itself, the Empty Quarter, is misleading. While it may seem empty of people, it is full of character, beauty, and a powerful, profound silence. Driving into this sea of sand, I felt like I was on another planet. The world I knew simply disappeared behind me. The dunes here are monumental, some rising hundreds of meters high. Their shapes are constantly changing, sculpted by the wind into sharp ridges and soft curves. The color of the sand is a deep, rich reddish orange, a hue I had never seen before. We made camp as the sun began to set, and the desert put on a spectacular show. The sky turned from orange to pink to deep purple, and the shadows of the dunes stretched out for miles. As darkness fell, the stars came out. With no city lights to spoil the view, the Milky Way blazed across the sky like a river of diamonds. It was one of the most beautiful sights I have ever witnessed. Despite its name, the Empty Quarter is not entirely without life. My Bedouin guide, who had grown up in the desert, showed me how to spot the tracks of desert foxes, rodents, and even the Arabian oryx, a magnificent antelope that has been successfully reintroduced to the wild. He showed me plants that could survive in this arid world, their roots digging deep in search of moisture. He knew this desert intimately. It was his home. He taught me that survival here is not about fighting the environment, but about understanding it and respecting its power. His knowledge was a living link to an ancient way of life. Spending a night in the Rub al-Khali was a deeply moving experience. The silence was absolute, a powerful force that calmed the mind and focused the senses. It's a place that strips away all the distractions of modern life and forces you to confront the essentials. It teaches you humility and gives you a new perspective on your own place in the world. The Empty Quarter is not empty at all. It is full of beauty, history, and a powerful spirit that stays with you long after you have left its endless sands. It is the true wild heart of Arabia. Throughout my travels in Saudi Arabia, one thing stood out more than any monument or landscape: the incredible warmth and generosity of its people. Hospitality, or hafawa, is not just a custom here. It is a cornerstone of the culture, a duty, and a source of great pride. From the moment I arrived, I was treated not as a stranger, but as a guest. In the city, in the desert, and in the mountains, I was met with smiles, handshakes, and the constant offer of coffee and dates. This welcome was genuine, heartfelt, and offered without any expectation of anything in return. I remember visiting a small workshop in Jeddah's old town, Al-Ula, where a master craftsman was making traditional wooden latticework windows, known as Roshan. He was old, his hands weathered by decades of work. He saw me watching, and without a word, he put down his tools and motioned for me to sit. His son brought out a flask of coffee and a bowl of dates. We sat there in comfortable silence for a while, just sipping the coffee. Through his son, who spoke a little English, he told me about his craft, a skill passed down from his father and his grandfather. It was a simple, beautiful moment of human connection. This spirit of generosity extends to every part of daily life. I was invited into homes for meals that were more like banquets. Huge platters of rice and lamb, known as kabsa, were laid out, and my host would insist that I eat first and take the best pieces. It was an overwhelming display of generosity. I spoke with families who were curious about my life and my travels and eager to share their own stories. They wanted me to see their country for what it is, beyond the headlines and the stereotypes. They were proud of their heritage and excited about their future. These interactions taught me more than any guidebook could. They showed me the human face of Saudi Arabia. I met artists, entrepreneurs, guides, teachers, and ordinary families, and each encounter added a new dimension to my understanding of the country. I learned that the true wealth of this nation is not its oil, but its people. Their kindness, their dignity, and their deep-rooted sense of hospitality are the threads that bind the society together. It is an unspoken language of welcome that every visitor can understand, and it is the memory I will cherish most from my journey. As my journey came to an end, I reflected on the Saudi Arabia I had seen. It was a country far more complex, diverse, and beautiful than I had ever imagined. It was a land of stunning contrasts, where gleaming futuristic cities rise from deserts that hold the secrets of ancient civilizations. It is a place where the deep roots of tradition provide a strong foundation for a society that is reaching ambitiously for the future. The simple image of a desert kingdom, so common in the West, is just one small part of a much larger and more fascinating picture. I had traveled from the ancient tombs of Al-Ula to the green mountains of Asir, from the vibrant coral reefs of the Red Sea to the silent, star-filled expanse of the empty quarter. Each place had its own unique character, its own story to tell. I saw a country that is not just one landscape, but many. This natural diversity is matched by its cultural richness. The traditions of the Bedouin in the desert are different from those of the mountain dwellers in the south, yet they all form part of the rich tapestry that is modern Saudi Arabia. The most powerful discovery, however, was the people. I met a generation of young Saudis who are driving change, filled with creativity, energy, and a desire to connect with the world. At the same time, I experienced the timeless traditions of hospitality and family that remain the bedrock of the society. This is the central story of Saudi Arabia today, a nation in dialogue with itself, carefully balancing its ancient heritage with the demands and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. It is a story that is still being written, and it is one of the most compelling stories on the planet right now. Saudi Arabia is a country that is slowly opening its doors, inviting the world to look beyond the headlines and discover the reality for themselves. For those who come with an open mind and a curious heart, the rewards are immense. It is a journey that challenges preconceptions and replaces them with a more nuanced and human understanding. It is a land of unseen stories, hidden landscapes, and unexpected beauty. My journey was just a glimpse into this incredible country, and it left me with the feeling that there are countless more stories waiting to be discovered.